Why do we keep scrolling, even when we know it wastes time? At 10 o'clock at night, you were supposed to write a report, study a few words, or at least go to bed early. Then you picked up your phone just to relax for a moment. You told yourself only 5 minutes. The first video was funny, so you smiled. The second one was boring, so you swiped away. The third one happened to be exactly the kind of thing you care about, so you watched it again. Not every video was good, but somehow you kept feeling that the next one might be more interesting. By the time you finally put your phone down, it was already past midnight. The report was not written. The sleep was gone. So here's the real question. If you already know that short-form videos waste your time, why is it still so hard to stop? Today, I am not going to explain everything with the word dopamine, and I'm not going to say you just have no self-control. Instead, let's use behavioral science to look at a more realistic answer. The real power of short-form video is not that any single video is incredibly good. It is that the platform turns keep watching into the default and turns stop watching into the action that requires extra effort. First, let's look at a few numbers. By the end of 2024, the number of short-form video users in China had reached about 1.04 billion. That means about 93.8% of internet users in China were using short-form video platforms. In other words, this is not a niche habit, it is a massive behavior environment. And the more important number is time. Reports show that the average daily usage time of short-form video apps reached about 156 minutes. That is more than 2.5 hours a day. At that point, it is no longer just a little break. Global data tells a similar story. According to Data Rapporteur's 2025 report, TikTok users on Android spent close to 35 hours per month on the app. The typical user opened it around 360 times per month. That is roughly 12 opens per day. So what many people underestimate is not just how long each session is, they underestimate how often they open the app. You think, I only watched for a few minutes. But if you do that 10 or 12 times a day, those small sessions turn into dozens of hours every month. Some user data projects have also found that light users may start with about half an hour a day, and then, over several months, grow to more than an hour per day. Among teenagers, notifications, red dots, recommendations, and social feedback can repeatedly pull people back to the phone. These numbers show one thing clearly. The problem of not being able to stop watching short-form video is not just a few individuals falling apart. It is a large-scale behavioral phenomenon. But data can only tell us that short-form video takes up a lot of time. It does not explain why. The real question is, why does someone keep choosing to scroll, even when they know the long-term outcome is not good? Let's break it down with 3 main mechanisms. The first mechanism is called present bias. Present bias means that when we make decisions, we tend to give more weight to rewards that are available right now, and less weight to benefits or costs that happen in the future. This does not mean people are completely irrational. It means that immediate experiences and future consequences enter the decision-making process in very different ways. When you open a short-form video app, the reward is immediate. It is relaxing, it is funny, it feels fresh, it lets you escape pressure for a moment. And most importantly, it is concrete. You can feel it right away. But going to bed earlier, feeling better tomorrow, or having less regret later are all future benefits. They matter, but they are abstract, they are correct, but they do not feel good right now. So when you pick up your phone at 10 o'clock at night, the real competition is not exactly between short videos and your life goals. It is between feeling a little better right now and tolerating a little discomfort for a future that has not arrived yet. There's a related concept in behavioral economics called hyperbolic discounting. It means that the farther away a future reward is, the faster its psychological value drops. That explains a very common experience. You do know that short-form videos are wasting your time, you know? But knowing something does not mean it gets enough weight in the moment of decision. So the first layer of the answer is this. Short-form video does not win because you have no reason at all. It wins because it offers immediate rewards. Studying, working, and sleeping offer delayed rewards. And in many concrete decisions, immediate rewards naturally have an advantage. You might say, then I'll just control myself, I'll only watch for 5 minutes. That sounds reasonable, but this is where the second problem begins. In behavioral science, there is a concept called restraint bias. Restraint bias means that people tend to overestimate their ability to control themselves in tempting environments. Before you actually enter the environment, it is especially easy to believe that you can stop whenever you want. But when do you usually make the promise, I'll only watch for 5 minutes? Maybe at night, maybe after a long, tiring day, maybe right after you run into a task you do not want to face at that moment. Your attention, self-control, and long-term planning are already weaker than usual. And then in that state, you open a product that is specifically designed to make continuation feel easy. That brings us to the second mechanism, digital nudging. Short-form video platforms do not physically force your finger to keep scrolling. More often, they change the choice environment. Autoplay means you do not have to decide whether to continue. Infinite scroll removes natural stopping points. The recommendation feed makes the next piece of content appear immediately. Red dots and notifications can bring you back even after you leave. Likes, comments, and shares give you extra social feedback. Together, these design features create one result. Continuing to watch requires almost no extra action. Stopping requires an active decision. That is what makes short-form video harder to stop than many older forms of entertainment. A movie has an ending. An article has a last paragraph. A game round usually has a clear boundary. But a recommendation feed has no natural ending. If you do not actively exit, it continues. So the reason only 5 minutes often fails is not that 5 minutes is impossible. It is that this rule puts the whole burden on willpower. A more accurate way to think about it is this. In a high temptation environment, stopping is not the default outcome. Stopping has to be designed in advance. The third mechanism is uncertain reward. Many people think short-form video is hard to stop because every video is good, but that is usually not what actually happens. If you scroll through 10 videos, maybe only 2 or 3 genuinely interest you. The strange thing is that this does not necessarily make you stop. It can make you keep trying because what attracts you is not that every video is good, it is that the next video might be good. That uncertainty itself can increase the motivation to continue. The next one might be boring, or it might hit exactly the thing you care about. It might be useless, or it might be funny, useful, or surprisingly exciting. So you are not just watching one video, you are repeatedly making a small prediction. Is the next one worth watching? And when this is combined with a recommender system, the loop becomes stronger. A recommender system can adjust what it shows you based on signals such as watch time, rewatching, liking, commenting, and saving, the longer you stay. The more feedback the system gets, the better it can estimate what might keep you engaged. There is no need to turn this into a conspiracy theory. The basic goal of a recommendation system is simple. Increase the probability that you interact with the content. But from the user's point of view, this can make the feed feel more and more aligned with your interests, and that can make leaving harder. Now the full loop appears. You are tired and you want a low-cost way to feel better. Present bias makes immediate rewards more attractive. Restraint bias makes you believe you can stop after 5 minutes. Autoplay and infinite scroll turn continuation into the default. Uncertain reward makes you want to see what comes next. The recommender system keeps adjusting based on your behavior, and 1 hour later you realize you have repeated the same loop again. So the real power of short-form video is not that it makes you watch for a long time all at once. It is that it keeps making you feel. One more video is not a big deal. At this point, it is easy to fall into two extremes. One extreme says, this is all your fault. You just cannot control yourself. The other extreme says, the platform completely controls you. Neither is quite accurate. A more professional way to put it is this. When people make choices inside digital products, they are not choosing inside a neutral environment. They are choosing inside a designed behavior environment. This environment does not remove your freedom of choice, but it does change the difficulty of different choices. When continuing is easier and stopping is harder, when immediate rewards are concrete and future costs are abstract, when the next piece of content appears instantly, it becomes natural for users to stay a little longer. So this is not simply the platform is evil or people are weak. What deserves attention is that modern products have become very good at converting attention, habits, and psychological biases into time spent. That is also why regulators in places such as the European Union and the United States have started paying attention to addictive design and the risk of excessive use on major platforms. Of course, regulatory investigations and legal claims are not the same as final legal judgments, but they do show that the difficulty of stopping short-form video is no longer just a personal complaint. It has become a public governance issue. At the same time, we need to be careful about the boundary. Short-form video is not a drug. Watching short-form video does not automatically mean addiction. Short-form videos can be entertainment. They can be learning. They can be social connection. They can also help ordinary people express themselves. The real warning sign is this: when you clearly do not want to continue, but you still find it hard to stop. When it starts to crowd out sleep, study, work, and real relationships for a long time, then it is no longer just entertainment. It becomes a behavior control problem. Now let's talk about what to do. Do not just tell yourself, I need more discipline. The problem of short-form video is not something one motivational sentence can solve. A more useful approach is to use behavior design against behavior design. First, do not use "I'll watch for 5 minutes" as the main rule. Use "Will I enter the recommendation feed" as the rule. 5 minutes tests your ability to stop, but stopping is exactly the hardest part. A better rule is, if you want to relax, you can watch from a saved list, a following list, or fixed playlist. But do not enter the endless recommendation feed before sleep, before work, or before study. The key is not watching one fewer video. The key is entering the hardest to exit environment less often. Second, add stopping points to the infinite feed. If the platform removed the natural ending, you have to add one back yourself. For example, set a 15-minute timer. Put the timer somewhere that requires you to stand up to turn it off, or only watch after meals and stop when the meal is over, or only watch 3 saved videos and then exit. The stopping point must be concrete. It cannot just be, I'll stop later. Third, before opening the app, ask yourself one question. Do I actually want entertainment right now, or am I trying to escape a feeling? Many times we are not really pursuing pleasure. We are escaping boredom, anxiety, pressure, a sense of failure, or a task we do not want to start. If the answer is escape, do not demand that you finish the entire task immediately. Just do one low-friction action. Open the document and write 1 sentence. Turn the book to the right page. Stand up and walk for 2 minutes. Put the phone in another room. The goal is not to instantly become a perfectly disciplined person. The goal is to redesign your choice environment. Make the thing you should do easier to start. Make the thing you easily lose control over harder to open. That is where behavioral science is genuinely useful. It does not simply tell you, try harder. It reminds you that behavior is often not created by brute force willpower. It is shaped, step by step, by the environment around you. If this video helped you understand why short-form video is so hard to stop, consider liking, saving, or subscribing. In the next episode, we will use behavioral science to look at another common problem. Why does anxiety make procrastination worse? See you next time.